evening. This is the lovely Allison Dubinski on violin. Shall we give her a hand? So, to kick off this evening's festivities, I'll be taking you on a riveting journey, a harrowing saga, an epic obstacle course of the psyche, as we all collectively discover what exactly it is I'm coming out of. So, let's start at the very beginning, shall we? Question I get all the time: how in the hell did Hannah Louise happen? Well, no pun intended, but my parents met in the Anglican Church. Now, one may be tempted to assume that the Anglicans and the queers had nothing whatsoever in common due to the great diocesan debate of 2008, or whatever the hell the year was, I can't seem to recall. Feels as though it dragged on for decades. But with that scandalous ordination, of the openly gay bishop by those large-hand theological slackers, the Episcopalians. But allow me to assure you, this queery poppins hat you see atop my head doth bear a remarkable, striking resemblance to the Easter bonnets that were shunned onto the tiny, grumpy heads of my siblings and me every year around this time for the Anglican Easter Mass. My favorite of which, of course, being the one my youngest sibling threw up in during the service one year, rendering our dear mother a wild-eyed deer in the headlights, holding a hatful of puke, eyes darting around, frantically searching for the nearest covert exit, only to discover that the one singular way to get that stinking pile of bile out of the church would be to march it up to the front of the sanctuary and across the pulpit in the middle of the sermon. But I digress. My parents met in church. It went something like this. Mom sang in the choir, Dad sang in the audience. Congregation, pardon me, never could tell the difference. And one day, my mother's best friend in the choir leans over and whispers to her all gossipy like, "Kathy, do you see that guy John eyeing you from the congregation? I hear he's super into you." And my mother says, "John? Do you mean the tall man in the Hawaiian shirt with the white boy fro?" Huh. I thought he was gay. Sure is still not happen, folks. I jest. Presumably my father was not gay. For he proceeded to court my mother, marry my mother. They proceeded to have me. Now I was not cool with this at first. So one day, circa the age of 2, I sat my parents down in the living room to a very serious family discussion, and I laid it all out for them. I says to them, "Mommy, Daddy, it's about time the two of you coughed me up a sister." Yeah, and they listened. Oh, they listened. They took my words to heart and they got their acts together twice. 2 sisters. At least, that's what we thought. Until one day, the youngest sister turned around and said to us, "You know, I have a mohawk, I drive trucks, and I don't think I'm she anymore. From now on, it's going to be they. As a matter of fact, it's always been they." And we said, "Okay." And it was okay. It was more than okay. It was splendid. I, for one, thought it was spectacular, and I celebrate the they are every damn day. Cheers to my baby sibling, everyone. Yes. Liberation. So they say they, "Hey, call me they," and we say, "Okay," and it was okay. And this was about a year ago? Probably not even. Because before that, you see, it was not quite so okay. None of that was okay. None of this was okay. None of us were okay. My sister, my sibling, and I, we were in fact very, very first time I realized I wanted to die. Would you like to know what stopped me? The God-forsaken afterlife. That's right. I mean, have you ever been burned alive? Even once. Or for eternity. That was not a look I was about to try on his eyes. Burning alive? No, because I thought to myself, if I can just hold on even a little bit longer to one miserable shred of this miserable fucking existence, then at least I'll have a chance. At least I'll have time to change myself, to fix myself. To fix myself. Because at 14, you see, I was starting to have some of those feelings for girls. The preacher said I was only supposed to be having for boys. And in a very limited capacity of that. I mean, I was having those feelings for boys too, don't get me wrong. But I just never felt like enough. In fact, for sure, multiple times, multiple authority figures, wasn't enough. For no homosexual offender shall ever enter the kingdom of heaven. And so it is written. I mean, what the hell even is a homosexual offender? Paul doesn't bother to explain. It's the alternative to the kingdom of heaven. Well, that much at least is quite clear. Terribly, painfully clear. So one night, I couldn't sleep. I think it was around 4 a.m. when I finally crept into my parents' bedroom and asked my mother to come into mine. Shaking, quaking, trembling, crying, choking out my own voice, paralyzed with fear. At the same time as I was exploding in desperation, I finally told her everything. Don't worry, honey. Bless your heart. The feeling is not the sin. It's only if you act on the feeling that it's a sin. Don't worry about the feelings. But isn't it also written? Anyone who has sinned in their heart has already committed that sin in the flesh. Where the fuck do feelings come from if not the heart and the flesh? How are you going to tell me not to worry about the feelings? What is this thing? So I kept shaking and quaking and crying and trembling, and my mother said that the shaking was demons fighting spiritual warfare in the battleground of my body. So she read to me. She read to me from the Holy Book, and she read to me, "For you formed my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well." And that my soul knew very well, because that was fucking beautiful, and this was fucking terrifying, and it was all in one fucking book. It was all supposed to be part of the same fucking truth, and that was the fucking truth, and the fucking problem had to be me. The problem had to be me. I couldn't fix myself. Couldn't change myself. So, what other choice did I have? To shut down a part of me. To silence a part of me. To suffocate a part of me. Shut down. Silence. Suffocate. Shut down, silence, suffocate, dissociate, deny, dissociate, dismember, deny, dissociate, dismember, until she faded away. She faded away, silently, too fragile to withstand the storm of souls. She faded away silently, too fragile to withstand the storm in my soul. while the rest of me became like stone. A calcified stronghold. A great hollow ship. Adrift, alone, I had no home. Deep within, a vacancy.
One afternoon, my sister called me crying. Crying is a gross understatement. She was sobbing so hard. I was afraid she might stop breathing. She managed to gasp out these words between sobs. "I'm so in love," she managed. "But he's transgendered. Hannah, what do I do?" I was 23 at the time. Devoutly religious, yet deeply questioning. And above all else, tightly closeted. But something came over me in that moment. Maybe an angel, a guy, a benevolent spirit, whatever any of that is real. Regardless, something washed over me. And in a well-timed moment of profoundly peaceful self-assurance, I felt these words leave my lips. "Little sister, I don't pretend to know right from wrong, but I do know this. If the two of you get married, I'm coming to your wedding." To my great relief, my sister started breathing again. "Okay," she said. "I'm going to write Mom and Dad a letter. Will you take a look at it for me before I send it?" "Of course," I promised. She was the first one of us to come out to our parents. If I were to say that she took the hardest hit, I would once again be making a gross understatement. My sister's okay now. But after my parents read that letter, she started cutting again. My mother stopped speaking to me at that time. Dad said she was afraid too. She knew I was fiercely protective of my siblings. What I couldn't understand was, why wasn't she? So the burden fell on me. Life sliced me up and served me raw. So I gathered my viscera. And I learned to make medicine from my body, for my body. An angel of the light told me that I had night vision, and that most would close their eyes, and they'd plug their ears. Some might even bury me alive. Just a handful may thank me. So I prayed to Lady Darkness. And I cried to Mother Water. And I cursed the fucking sun. And I yearned towards Sister Moon. None of them could save me. They all said, hey, we're here for you. But just so you know, we're in pain too. Every time I see a hopeful light in someone's eyes, or I hear them fucking say, it's so good to be alive, I disappear.
They don't see pain, but she sees you. Porcelain facade, cracks and glue. The angel saw an owl. And the owl was my body. A great and feathered beauty.
And she could never die. Tell her she is eternally invincible, they said. Tell her they insisted. For she truly doesn't know. When death comes,
And the shattering
of my astral body
scatters shards of me.
all across the cosmos,
What will I have left? Soul. This iteration of Estuary, presented by the Tank NYC. I'd like to take a second to thank the cast and crew. We have Garrett, the lighting guru, shining down on us from above. We have Classic Corella, our stellar videographer, who's dancing in front of the camera anytime he's not behind it. We have this beautiful violinist, theater artist, and collaborator, Allison Dubinski. A big thank you to the Tank for hosting, presenting, and providing resources for us to launch the development of this project. If you can, do please throw them a donation. It's really incredible what they do for emerging artists like Ali and myself here in NYC. I think that's all the thanks. So stay in chat if you can. we'd love to hang out with you in that lobby. We found out last week we can't go to that lobby. So we will catch up with you over there after we strike down the set to make room for the next performance group. That's the end. Thank you.